Hello College Algebra students. This video will help you with your homework from section 4.2, Building Linear Models from Data. Basically, I'm going to show you how to find a line of best fit and how to graph a scatter diagram and also graph the line of best fit on top of your scatter diagram, all on a graphing calculator when you are given data. So for example, in question 3, you will be given something similar to this one, where you have a table of data given below, and we're going to be asked to use the graphing calculator to find the line of best fit. So first we need to enter all of this data into our graphing calculator. So I'm going to turn my calculator on, and if you have data to enter, you actually press this button called Stat right here. So I'm going to press Stat. And the very first option you'll see is Edit, and that's exactly where we want to go. So I'm going to press Enter because it's already highlighted. And you will see 3 columns, L1, L2, L3. If for some reason you do not see L1, L2, L3, there is a way you can clear that. So I'm just going to show you that really quickly. You press Stat. You go down to Setup Editor, which is number 5, press Enter, and press Enter again. And then when you press Stat and Enter, it should be back to normal, L1, L2, L3. So if you're missing a column or you only see L4, L5, or something strange is happening, that resets everything. Now I have some old data up here. So I want to clear out all of these old numbers because I need to enter new numbers. So I'm going to go to the top of L1 by pressing my up arrow so that L1 is actually highlighted, and then press clear and then enter. And that gets rid of the whole set of numbers. And then I'm going to move over to the right, so press my right arrow, go all the way to the top above that line so the column header L2 is highlighted, and then press clear and then enter, and that gets rid of all that. So I'm going to move back to the left to L1, and now I'm going to enter all of my X values. So I'm going to press 4, enter 5, enter 6, enter 7, enter 8, enter 9, enter 10, enter. Okay, so 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And now for L2, I'm going to enter all the Y's. So I'm going to move over to the right. So my right arrow gets me to the top of the next column. And now I'm going to enter the Y row. So 6, enter 8, enter 9, enter 12, enter 14, enter 16, enter 18, enter. Okay, so after all of that is done, you can move up and down each column and just make sure you have all of the right entries and it looks fine. So now I'm ready to find the line of best fit. So after you have that, I'm going to press Stat again. And this time I'm going to move over to the Calculate menu. So I'm moving over to the right once, and Calculate is highlighted. And the line of best fit is the same as number 4, which is linear regression. And notice you see ax plus b, which is a little bit different than mx plus b, but it's actually very similar. So I'm going to press Enter and choose number 4, and it's going to ask me now which lists did you input all your x and y values. Now at this point I'm just going to press Enter again because by default it will assume I used L1 and L2 and I don't have to specify. So I'm just going to press Enter, and it'll take the first 2 columns and calculate the line of best fit for me. So when you hit Enter, you will see this. On the top it'll say y equals ax plus b. It gives you a value for a and also a value for b, and we just have to substitute that a with this number and substitute that b with that number. So over here your equation is going to look like y equals 2.0357x plus a negative 2.393. And adding a negative number is the same thing as subtracting, so you can just write minus at that point. Okay, I wanted to show you the other version of the calculator, which might look a little bit different. It's going to start off the same when you press Stat and then you press enter. This part is all the same, how you enter the values, and I've already done that. But this time when you press stat, move over to the right to calc, and you scroll down to number 4 and choose linear regression, it's going to ask you where did you put your X list, where is your Y list, etc., etc. So X list should say L1. If it does not, please press second 1, and that'll type in an L1. Jump down to your Y list. For L2, you need to press second 2. Make sure it says L2. We do not have a frequency list. I'm just going to tell you to go straight down to calculate, press enter, and then you will have the exact same results. Okay, so back to the old version. Okay, now that I have the line of best fit, we're going to graph all of this information. So I'm going to clear this up. First, we're going to graph the scatter diagram of our data. So to do that, we're going to first press second y equals. So here's my second, and here's my y equals. And you will see this. And this has all of your statistics plots. So I'm going to choose the first one. It should all be off, but I'm going to press enter on the first one and actually turn it on. So right now off is highlighted, but I want on to be highlighted, so I'm just going to press enter. And now notice on is highlighted and off is not. Okay, I'm going to jump down to type, and there are 6 types of graphs we can do, and you move across using right and left. I want to make sure the very first graph, which looks like a tiny scatter diagram, is highlighted, so I'm going to press enter on there. I'm going to jump down to X list. Make sure X list says L1. If it does not, press second 1. Jump down to Y list. Make sure it says L2. If it does not, please type in or press second 2. All right, for the mark, you get to decide how you want each data point represented by a square, a plus sign, or a dot. I actually like the square. It's the biggest indicator of a dot, so I like that. Okay, so now we're almost ready to do the scatter diagram. Okay, now before we do that, I want to make sure we press y equals and clear out any old equations. So I'm going to press y equals, and sure enough, I have a few equations there. So I'm going to clear this one. I'm going to jump down to the next one and clear that. So make sure it's completely empty, but your plot 1 is highlighted, which is fine because we turned on plot 1. All right, now we have to make sure our window is correct. So I'm going to press window. And in the problem I found on the homework, they actually give us the exact dimensions of 0, 19, 2, 0, 19, 2. So that means the minimum is 0, the maximum is 19, and the scale is 2. Okay, so that's for the x values. And again, it repeats for the y axis. So 0, jump down 19, jump down 2. Now we're ready to graph, and when I press graph, our scatter diagram should appear. Okay, so those are all of our data points plotted as ordered pairs on a graph. Now I also want to see the line of best fit superimposed up on top of my scatter diagram. So I'm going to press y equals, and I'm going to enter our line of best fit equation just like we see here. So 2.0357x. Now it's this button right here, the one that says xt theta n, that will give us our x variable, and then minus 2.393. Okay, so make sure that's typed in exactly as we have down here, and press graph, which is the upper right corner, and then you will see the line of best fit. And the line of best fit should literally be the line that goes through as many points as possible, and it is close to as many points at the same time, and it really does look like the line of best fit. Okay, I hope that helps. Question 5 is another one where you'll have to do this process again. I typed out the steps, but I think you should be fine. It's the very same procedure as question 3. Please email me if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.